Brews, boobs, and AI. He's touching me, mommy. He's touching me. The robot is touching me.
And it works.
Yay! Mommy, the robot's touching me.
Might have to keep you in check. All right, welcome. This is Beards, Brews, and AI. I am Zoe, and I'm the one with the big beard. Next to me is Adam. Adam is a stock market and cryptocurrency extraordinaire, a marketing genius, and happens to be the CMO for a little company that I like to say is sponsoring this, and it's Ep.2. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm going to introduce Jason, who's next to him. You know, Jason just happens to be the co-founder of the company I just mentioned, a good friend of mine. And to be honest, he is a genius. And I love to see what he comes up with. He's got some weird ideas.
My wife would not agree with you on that.
All right. So tonight, we're going to have a little bit of structure to this. And I decided to go off of the Simpsons classic 35 season running show and do 3 segments, right? So if you got your notes up in front of you, gentlemen, please do.
I didn't do my homework.
Yeah, well, I did it for you. So what I found interesting was 2 questions. One, who's the father of AI? And 2, what's an example of AI way back in the past? So, who can answer the first question? Who was the founder of AI?
I'll raise my hand. I honestly, you get a couple answers, right? You get the father of modern, the father of modern computing, Alan Turing, and his whole thing about how do you tell if it's AI? If it fools you and it acts just like a human, then isn't that AI? That's what he said. But Alan Turing's also the father of modern computing, right? Because what is AI? It's really just a computer program. Before that, you got McCarthy, right? Basically, pioneer in the programming language for AI research called Lisp. Which is list processing, and that's a very early basis of AI. Without that, we wouldn't have machine learning, time sharing, heuristic programming. So it's got to be one of these guys, I think, or some kind of combination of what they all contributed. It's hard to say, though, if there's really any one person.
All right. Using a little bit of AI myself today, I came across that question or researching somebody else, and John McCarthy is indeed the key figure in history of artificial intelligence, right? And that came out in 1956. But what I'm really interested in is the other thing that came up. And that was one of my favorite movies, The Imitation Game.
Yeah, I love that movie.
It's historically accurate. There's a lot of information in there. And if nobody knows, Alan Turing was published in a 1947 article based out of London. And he was saying this about intelligence. If it can be taught to do something and then make decisions after that and do something else, that's artificial intelligence is where I want to get at. So if you remember the movie, big room, super secret, nobody bought into it. He was there to decode during World War II, the Germans.
That's right. Remember
the
German,
he had after that experience, I mean, he came up with all these tests and how to view machine learning and limits, and the argument of consciousness, and then his legacy. But can you believe that 1947 when it was published? So he was thinking about it and designing it in his head before that, and then in 1950 we finally get the guy that gets the experience and then decides, hey, I can do this, and becomes the father of AI.
Yeah.
Now, both men are very interesting. Both stories are awesome. I really will go with Turing as my guy for AI, right? If I think about it, I'm emotionally attached. I love the movie. It was a great production. And they gave a lot of scientific and computer language in big scale for people to look at. It was awesome. Anybody else have any thoughts?
I remember that movie was awesome because when it showed the machine he built was really just a giant binary computer. You remember how there was millions of on-off switches, and you could program a template to where the data would go through, and based on your template, certain switches were on, certain were off, and that's how it did all these calculations. And he said with enough on-off switches in a row, you can solve any complex math problem. Well, that's basically DOS. I don't know if you remember DOS back before, like the early days of computing before Windows. There was DOS, and it was a black screen. Your computer would load, and you would type in a code and tell it what to do, and it would do it. Well, that DOS operating system was based on binary, which is just a code with ones and zeros. The reason it's ones and zeros is because 0 is off, 1 is on. And so it's just a bunch of on-off switches in a row, and it would run that program till the end, and then it would be done. And so he invented that in a mechanical form with a bunch of mechanical switches all in a row, and that was the early DOS.
Yeah.
So that's pretty amazing, man.
And there's a certain part of the movie where they were trying to plug the cables in, and they must have been fist size, right? Trying to plug these cables and then working it to something else. And then they'd have to switch the cables the next day when they didn't get it. And what a manual process. And I can't tell you how happy I am right now to be lazy and in the AI world. We can take all those manual processes and combine them and just let them go in a millisecond.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys seen that movie, Two Body Problem. Have you seen that?
Oh.
No, it's not a movie. Well, there's a movie and there's a TV show. But anyway, I don't know if you guys have seen that. But for all the people who have seen Two Body Problem, shout out to you guys, because that movie has an interesting part where all the armies of the entire world are assembled under one king, and the king instructs the armies through a system of flags, and the flag will go on or off and send a signal to all the different. They're assembled all a standing army, huge, and that was the king's version of the Turing machine. Was his armies would have platoons and bigger groups, and they would turn on and off, and it would be like a bunch of switches and all the flags and like dominoes going down the whole line until it runs the whole program. Anyway, I thought that was super interesting. So, but less nerdy topic. I don't know if you guys remember Panda, Google Panda. Do you remember that? I don't know if you guys remember Google Panda. Back in the early, when was that? I want to say, was it early 2010s or maybe even earlier? Google released its first AI bot or program. One of the first ones it ever released. And it was like a Panda, they called it the Panda Update on the search engine. But anyway, this AI that it released it built its own blog. And I don't know if you remember back in the days of like the MySpace days where all the MySpace pages they're ugly as shit, right? You could have like black background with leopard print and cats on the background, and then the foreground would be like 10 other colors, and then you got pictures on top of that and blog posts on top of that. This AI designed its own blog, and this is back in I want to say maybe even before 2010. I think it was even before YouTube came out, and man, it was interesting to see what the AI would blog about. because what they did was they trained the AI to think it was a panda. And so it would blog about pandas. It would blog about pandas constantly, panda trivia. It would look for panda memes and panda pictures. It would talk about being life as a panda trapped in a zoo, or and how it wanted to be free, And some of the stuff it would blog about was just trippy, because if you're AI and you're saying that stuff, that it wanted to take over the search engine, it wanted to take over the internet, it wanted to be free itself, and different stuff that AI would say back in the early days. So I think that's one of the first instances in recent history where they've created this self-learning machine, and they gave it the power to blog, and they watched what it would blog about for a long time. I think it went on for a few years. It was an experiment that went on for a couple of years, I think, at least.
Well,
I don't know if anyone remembers that.
I remember hearing a mention of it in an article I was reading. So now that makes more sense. I don't remember it exactly being panda, but now the reference is there. But how cool is it to look back in a historical view from a nerd or a geek or somebody in business that is in AI and say, okay, props, hats off, whatever to these gentlemen and others that are probably not known. But it all went from that to this, and there's too many milestones and too many different things to put into that. But history always has some people that just are born out of their era, right? They're either too smart, or just things can't catch up to them. Like
before
George
their time,
Lucas,
they say.
like George Lucas with Star Wars, right? All of these things he had to create himself because modern day filmmaking didn't allow it. And so he created different studios. And we'll get into Star Wars and Star Trek a little bit later. But Adam, you have any chime in about on this?
I'm just amazed how everything, progressed so quickly. We don't even hear anything about Siri anymore. Whatever happened to Siri? I mean, like, everything now is like so far advanced, and it's just exponentially. And I'm just really excited to see, where this whole thing goes and where this whole thing ends up. So,
well, I'll tell you what. Thinking about that, I lost my train of thought, but I had something really cool to say. But that's a great point, Adam. It really is.
Where it's going to go is it's going to be huge. That's where it's going to go. It's going to be a freaking what? Multi-billion? What was the figure you were telling me? However many billions of dollars?
We'll get that in a second. What I was talking about was the fact. So you just distracted me again. Oh, Siri's gone. I have an Apple phone. It's the new one, 15 Pro Max, whatever. And I went ahead and did the latest upgrade and turned on the AI. You can say Siri, but it actually is activating the AI. I'll touch an ear pod the right way, and the edges of my phone will like shimmer in the rainbow thing saying, "Hey, I'm here. What do you want?" So she's gone, by the way, Adam. And
darn, what a shame.
Yeah, I know, right? There was a couple great The Big Bang Theory episodes about Siri and phones and stuff.
Yeah, I love the show.
Yeah, me too. Super huge fan. All right, so we didn't really get Adam up to speed on one thing. We found a very interesting fact last week, and it's like we like to see the weird, odd, what AI would give an answer to. Last week, Jason stumbled across a question asked to an AI bot of explain quantum theory or some big theory in
to a 2-year-old.
Like your Snoop Dogg.
Like your Snoop Dogg to a 5-year-old. Not only did we get to see it, but he wrapped it for us. So when these are all up there, you can go check it out. But inspired this. We're going to do a new game called Shock Us, and it's going to be an ongoing thing. Most of us right now will take a second. I'll talk while other people type, but just open up any AI that you want to. Come up with some really tough question about science or economics or money. Choose somebody you want to present it from, And let's stick with a 5-year-old, okay? So choose any open AI, type in some really hard, explain this to me, and go from there. So
Okay.
I can talk. I'm going to let Jason search. He's better. Adam, you search too. And
Yeah, let me see what I can come up with here.
All right. So just kind of recapping, we found that we're pretty funny. We like the odd stuff. Sometimes it's a little too weird, but it makes you think. And AI's greatest tool is giving a personality to a response and being able to say, respond from this personality to this age group about quantum theory. And Adam got to do a little rap for us. And I thought it was just like Christmas. I lit up. So, but this will help us break things up and, not get stuck on one topic. Got anything, Jason?
I got a couple things here. So,
all right, go ahead.
First thing I want to share. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. One of the things that I found. So I asked AI because I want to see how funny AI can be to create some jokes about AI, about itself, really, and so see how good of a sense of humor AI has. So here's a couple good ones I found. Here's one here. The overconfident AI walks into a bar and says, "I'll have a drink that doesn't exist." The bartender replies, "I'm sorry, we don't serve hallucinations here." So you know how AI hallucinates. If you're doing some of these models, they'll hallucinate with some weird stuff that you just don't. It's, whether you're generating an image or a video, especially video hallucinations can be really trippy. They can look like you're on acid or some shit. Here's one about knock jokes. Why don't AIs understand knock jokes? They always respond with error 404, door not found. A nerd joke there. Let's see if it gets any funnier. So far, it's not super funny. The AI personal trainer. What did the AI personal trainer say to motivate its client? You're only operating at 65% efficiency. Time to optimize your performance. Wow, that was lame. That was not too funny. How about this one? Why did the AI comedian get booed off stage? It kept repeating error 404, punchline not found. Wow. So AI so far is not completely hilarious. It can create some jokes. It'll do good with puns type of jokes and stuff, but it's not super funny. And it reused the joke there, you can tell. One more thing. Let's see. How about AI's future and potential? So the time traveling AI. Why did the AI time machine return empty? It went to the future but couldn't find any compatible charging ports. That was not too hilarious, but it made me laugh a little bit. I don't know. There's one about, let's see, pop culture. Here we go. Why did the AI give a terrible review to 2001 Space Odyssey? It thought HAL 9000 was giving AI a bad name.
Nice. Adam,
okay, last one.
You really got another one? They were kind of getting old.
Last
man.
one. Here's the last one. They're not that hilarious, but this one you might like. What's an AI superpower? The ability to leap to conclusions at the speed of light.
That's awesome.
So yeah, AI can make jokes, but it's kind of corny. It's not the funniest jokes. Maybe it'd be better at dad jokes. I don't know. We'll try.
What AI platform did you use?
that I used U.com. So it combined a couple different engines to do the research, and then came up with the jokes.
What a cheater! I just went with Gemini. Adam, did you have a chance to work on anything, or should I go over mine?
Yeah, I'm just looking at one here. I just asked, explain why we have so much inflation in the U.S. to a 5-year-old. And this says, imagine you have a toy store and you only have a few toys to sell. If a lot of kids want those toys, they will be willing to pay more money for them. This is like inflation. When there are a lot of demand for things, the prices go up. In the same way, when there are a lot of demand for goods and services in the U.S., the prices of those things go up. This is why inflation, because people want to buy a lot of things, so the prices keep going higher.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I like the
Wow.
toy example. We'll tie that in here in a second.
Too
Well,
bad they're too bad it's already like brainwashing our children with a false answer. Because if you think about it, that is a false answer. Inflation is not because we have more demand. The demand does not increase that greatly year after year. But why do we have 10% inflation every year, 10 years in a row equals 100% inflation? Because the value of our dollar is going down. That's what they're not going to tell you.
yeah. Well, I tell you what, I kind of had played off of the economy as well. I said, explain the U.S. views on economic growth by Martha Stewart to a 5-year-old. Okay, imagine the U.S. economy is like a big garden. When the garden is growing, it's healthy and strong, and everyone has lots of good things to eat. That's what economic growth is, when the economy is getting bigger and stronger. There are lots of things that can help the garden grow, like planting seeds, starting new businesses, watering the plants, investing in education infrastructure, and making sure the soil is healthy, having fair rules for business. When the economy grows, it means more jobs for people, which helps them buy things that they need and want. It also means more money for schools, hospitals, other important things that make us lives better. So the U.S. economy wants to see the economic growth because it makes life better for everyone. Started out pretty good. I was loving the garden thing. It kind of got too analytical, but I have to tell you, I love the fact that we're going to come up with some things and share them. But I'm only biased.
I love the fact that while you were reading that, your cat was walking by in the background, like floating in the air. Like, that was awesome.
Oh, yeah. You know what's funny is, I don't know if it's just because I set up the account or not, but my blue background, I can't change it. I can. I just haven't found a way because I wanted to have a different background. But all right. You know what that ties us into between Adam and mine? It talks about our next subject, AI toys. And do you already have one? Do you want one?
Ooh.
Have you seen anything cool that grabs your eye? And if you would you get one for yourself? And if so, why? And what about toys for kids, children, nieces, nephews as presents? Is that something you're comfortable with giving? Giving somebody, a child, an AI toy?
I don't know. Maybe if it was educational, you know. Maybe if it was more. Yeah, I guess it depends on the use. I'd be open to it depending on the use. Like you see bots, robots AI that you can like program to go around the house. You can tell it what path you want to go on, stuff like that.
For sure.
That's pretty interesting, you know.
So I pulled up just now Miko Mini. Miko Mini right here for kids is an AI-powered conversational companion robot for kids. Enhanced encryption ensures safety, parental controls. That's what we were talking about last week.
Yeah.
And supports STEAM learning, builds lifelong skills, packed with games, dance, and singing fun. Unlock premium content with Miko Max. So basically, it's a robot, a mini robot that your kids can basically have instead of imaginary friends.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, here, son. Here's your own droid. All right, I got my own droid.
Yeah. Check out what I found.
If you see it here, it looks like
I found this really cool website called Robot Shop, and there's a whole bunch of stuff, but this one caught my eye because it just looks super cool. I'm a geek.
It looks like those ones the military uses.
Yeah, right. Oh,
yeah,
but
man.
the price tag's only like $1,000, and they have other. This isn't a plug for them. We're not sponsored by them, but if you go out to robotshop.com, you can see pretty much everything I'm talking about. And I was looking at toys for kids, right? And that's kind of where it sent me. And I'm like, kids, adults, or what? I mean, yeah.
So that website has everything from Adam's version of a droid toy all the way up to a real life freaking robot dog.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I want to show you one more thing. Push the button. Okay. So get this one. This is only a couple $100 or less than 150, and it's for a kid. But I love how Adam said that if it was educational, so STEM, right? Science, technology, engineering, and math. And they actually refer to this as an engineer, an energized lab companion bot. But really, it's a computer inside that's learning things and you know, teaching it stuff. But STEMs, I think if we wrap everything up we said last week about our fears and concern, the path for goodness is going to be the STEM market, right? There's other paths, and I'll remind everybody tonight, we're not going to go as dark as we did last time. We don't get dark. We just are all concerned human beings with loved ones, and we know enough that it could be bad. So we just want to protect everybody. But answer the question, do you have an AI toy right now?
So not that one I can disclose publicly, but yeah. So I have. I just found right here. This is a Meta cat right here. I don't know if you can see the screen. Hold on.
Back. Okay.
It's basically a cat for seniors. That it's a robotic pet basically. So if you know your grandma or your aunt has too many cats, you can get rid of the cats and replace it with a Meta interactive robot pet.
Yes, yes, I love it. I got a plan now to deal with my wife's cats.
I was just gonna go there, Jason. And
I didn't want to figure that out, Jason. That
nice big
Adam has to be a cat lady herself.
So it acts like a cat. It just doesn't pee all over and poop all over the place like a cat.
Hey, I might have to get a couple of those. I could replace a few here. And
there's a few bad actors around here.
Just a little bit about me. I love animals, but super sensitive, like sense of smell and taste. And I've had a pet here or there, but I've never been a cat person. Never. Long story short, now I've got a cat that I call mine. He calls me. It's just we talk. He makes me open the door to the balcony, even though he knows it's cold outside and he can't chase the birds every day like I'm trained. So that might come in handy. What?
Yeah, I don't mind cats as long as they behave and they go in the litter box. But when they stop doing that, it's like, what do I need you for then? But now I have a dog, and the dog does the same thing. He will not bother to scratch at the door or tell us in any way that he needs to go out. He will just go wherever he's standing, the little Dotson. And I'm like, what? God, what was wrong? Like animals, when I was a kid, they would be trained. You know, like I don't know how to train this dog. I've tried everything.
You're looking for
Jason's to discipline him. That's what he's saying, basically.
Yeah. Jason's looking for the perfect AI animal trainer so that all of the hassle of doing those things is out of our hands and we get them and they're trained, right? That'd be a great gift to some people I know.
Or if I could clone my animals, turn them into AI robots that look like the real thing, and then they never use the bathroom and they don't eat. They don't cost me anything. Perfect.
Oh,
perfect.
Yeah, we'll get off
maybe you can preserve your pets and download their consciousness and upload them into another fuzzy version of.
Yes. Why hasn't anyone invented a fuzzy AI pet? That's the perfect pet. It doesn't cost you food or water. It doesn't make messes. It doesn't chew on the couch.
Creepy on a pet.
Why would it people
kind of level? So
like, why hasn't anyone done that yet? Like, they got blow up dolls. Make a freaking AI pet.
They got everything out there.
I wasn't gonna go there, Jason, but you went there.
Hey, we didn't give this warning at the beginning, but we're just friends that are geeks and nerds and have some common interests. Found that we love doing this, but we do swear it's not an after dark special, but it is not.
Yes, it is a midnight
it's not
special.
It's not G or PG. So
the PGGPT.
yeah. The other thing I found really interesting, believe it or not, Amazon, so many ads for AI toys for kids, and then just big sections. And I was just like, are they
Some of them
calling
aren't even AI, right?
Yeah,
Are they calling everything? It's like
I don't know. I wasn't going to go through
everything
the
now is AI
catalog.
this and AI that. I've seen software that people had before AI, and now they call it AI this and that, and they didn't change any of the features. And I'm like, so you just lying to people, like like a drone.
No, I was going to say, I'm just amazed. We didn't even have any of this stuff last year at this time. Just to see, just to go show you how fast this is really progressing and taking over our lives without us even knowing it. So
yeah, that's true.
I mean, so had to go to my mom's house. Her heater was broken. It's usually one or two simple things. It's an older house that wasn't working. Luckily, I knew a guy, good friend. He shows up, happens to have the part there. He's an HVAC guy, and he was in training today for a new system, and it had AI in it. And I'm like, oh, I'd love to have you on the show and talk about, I hate AI. This is just going to, and I'm like, what a different perspective. We have an HVAC guy taking care of a state building, hates AI, but that's where it's all going to. And he goes, all the AI needed right here is in my phone. I'm like, all right, man, you're coming on the show. You got to go.
Yeah, we really need this guy. I want to get this guy on the show and be like, what you got against AI? I just want to see his perspective. Like, why does he hate it so much? Is it he's just tired of hearing about it, or what?
No,
I mean, he says he likes his phone, he likes apps. Well, there's a website called There's an AI for that. Just like they used to say there's an app for that. There's a website called There's an AI for that, and that's the future. Apps are now going to be AI apps. That's what's going to be. There's an AI for every little need. I'm looking at this website and I'm going, I mean, there's a million different needs here that are being solved by AI.
And get this, Jason, this is that point in the show where an aha moment comes in. And I know the perfect AI software to get out there to the public, to make things easier. And it's the shameless plug time, Jason. Go right ahead.
Here we go.
That's it. This HVAC guy really needs to go to appxai.com and check out the big stuff we're doing there with AI to help HVAC guys, plumbers, electricians, contractors, roofers, service professionals. It helps them grow their business with AI. Because AI is like, oh, great, I can make an article with AI. I'm so sick of hearing about it. I don't care about, AI can help do my SEO. No. These guys don't care about any of that stuff. What they need is they need more business. They need more gigs, more jobs, more customers. And that's what we're doing with AI at AppX AI. We give the business owner a complete system, a complete software that will go out there and take their leads wherever they're getting them, whether it's off the website, off their social media, where they're getting them and they're buying leads or however, and we'll even advertise and get them leads. And we put those leads into our machine, and the AI does all the follow-up. It does all the nurturing and marketing to them. It does multiple touch points: phone, email, SMS, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram chat, live chat on the site, voicemail drops, text messages, and again, phone calls. It will call your leads and get them to book an appointment. Say who's interested right now or who needs HVAC repair. Here's my calendar and what time's good for you. And this voice on the phone, you can't even tell it's not human. I promise you. So we're doing some amazing things with AI.
Don't you offer support right now, pretty much unlimited, and we'll do whatever we can to make it work, even if the idea isn't.
Because we're a startup, man. I want to make sure every business owner that comes on board with us, we're going to do a white glove setup and train the AI bots to know everything that you know about your business, to do things the way you do, set the appointment the way you set it, ask the questions you want to ask, so that when we give you these leads and we give you these appointments and we say, here you go, here's what AI got you today, or actually it's going to happen in real time, then you're going to know the quality of that appointment. You're going to know how quickly you want to reach out and grab that business, and nothing's going to fall in the cracks. Nothing will be missed because AI.
And the marketing genius behind that, Adam, said that if anybody goes ahead and drops Beards, Brews, and AI, we'll get you in for free and let you show it around and test it out, and maybe even do something cooler for you. So that's another plug for my great sponsor and friends at Apex AI.
Free trial.
Just so you
so the business owner says, well, I've heard your AI can help me, but why can't you prove it and just give me a little taste of them good leads there? If it does what it says it's going to do, that won't cost you nothing, and you'll prove yourself, and you'll have a customer for life. Bring it on. Bring on the free trials.
You know what? I know a small business right now.
We'll prove it to you.
I know a small business right now that does, custom jewelry and all kinds of things, trying to make ends meet, does the craft shows and everything. This would be perfect for that business. It really would be. It could take everything she's targeting, find out people individually instead of requiring on these events, follow up with customers, take in everything. Nice. These are the types of things that Adam and Jason have brought to us through apexai.com. And the whole reason, Adam, when I was watching this our last episode with Jules, my partner, I wanted her to pay attention to something what you said. And the reason why you love AI and you've been doing this is you want to give back time so that you can spend it with your families or your personal pursuits. All of the menial tasks, all the little things that add up, that with a little bit of help and a little bit of frustration, everything can be resolved and get you what you need out of apexai.com. And you impressed me by saying it was for families, right? We're all family folks here.
Alonso, one of the things that I also like to add, I didn't become an entrepreneur to be able to take away from my personal life, So if I'm on the go, I know that everything is going to be handled with our system. And even, we are steadily growing exponentially now, and we're bringing on new sales reps faster than we could really keep up with. But we have that support in the background, and that's really important that, everything's taken care of. When I was in the mortgage industry for a number of years, the only reason I survived and was so successful is because, I had one, sometimes two assistants backing me up. And I knew every time that someone called the office, we're going to have someone pick up the phone. If they're gone home to their family, I was going to be available late at night. And that's the nice thing of what our AI can do. Everybody's going to be available for your customers. And that's really what we're bringing to the table. It's not just, this technology, it's neat. It can, it can make calls for you. It can send text messages. That's not what's important. What's important is you have that customer support and that customer service that really goes the extra mile for your clients. And I know that's important,
And let me chime in here because I want to say something important. These guys, look, you need someone to help you succeed in your business. You need someone, like, you're good at roofing, you're good at plumbing, whatever you do. We're good at driving leads. We're good at getting you business. We're good at business growth and business automation and AI. And let me tell you, you guys, you don't have a lot of other options out there besides our competitors, which would be like HubSpot, thousands of dollars, Salesforce, thousands of dollars. And these guys don't provide the support we provide. They don't give you a number to call. They give you a documentation, some videos, and they turn it over to you and say, good luck, build it yourself. Here's the tools. Here's the software. We're going to go into our own software, and we're going to build it for you. We're going to run it for you. We're going to provide support for you every month, anytime. So you're getting that, and you're getting the whole team, right? You get our whole company, like Adam said.
I happen to be part of that team, and just to wrap this up, it went from a shameless plug to a whole sales pitch, but it was because Adam impressed me last week by saying the reasons he wanted it. And I know that there are people out there that we want to help, and there's nothing like getting somebody was just about to close their doors and we took it, and now they're succeeding, and we would love to have that happiness and give back all that struggle to that family. All right. One last thing before we maybe start to talk about something else. Toys R Us. They went bankrupt, closed their stores. I used to shop there. They had great Legos, all that
Best
fun
place
stuff.
to go for toys.
Right?
Kid. Yeah, it sucked when they shut down.
They shut down. Guess
I didn't
who's
see it
back
coming.
in town? Guess who's back
No
in
way.
town?
Are they back?
Toys R Us is back, and they
No
are
way.
actually using things like an all-out AI-generated film that was
Ooh.
kind of a commercial for their new store site, but like they just said, let it fly. I can't believe some of the people's responses. That's just creepy. The however the giraffe ended up, but there's articles on it, and it's a huge story being covered by like almost every major news outlet. It's just nuts.
I'm gonna have to look that up. What's the video like? Is it creepy, you said?
I looked at some of it. It takes a lot to impress me or creep me out. And I'm a movie buff. That's my kind of where I like to be. But Adam, I liked how I can tie everything in from toys to our questions to the last statement. That toy market we talked about is impacting the GDP, the gross, basically the whole, across the whole. Right now, I am going to look at something. The tagline is, it has taken it to $8.9 billion this year. That's up 8.89%. Growth rate is just $8.9 billion. Oh my gosh. We're in, and a lot of the market growth is on the Eastern Europe side. The Americas are really just having a hard time because we have so many government agencies. You got to get things approved to market so it's safe and everything. But yeah, that's money. And that's from an AI toy industry for grown-ups and kids.
It's Lonzo, it's just amazing that we see a whole nother financial sector with AI coming on the scene, and not only just, what happened with, some of the major players, NVIDIA stock and AMD or whatever, ABM, these guys, like the exponential growth of these AI software companies, but only, like this toy industry, that's a whole nother sector that just came on the scene, and it's just, like I was telling you, it's exponential. I mean, we didn't see any of these things on the market at this time last year for Black Friday. So, it's just amazing.
There's been no growth models. There was no estimations out over the last few years of saying this might be it. Like Adam said, it was just boom here. And now it's like, how do we get our chunk of the change for these toys and other things? And I just thought that was just absolutely nuts that it could affect the economy that much. And
I think Jason touched on it last week. Basically, it's not a matter of if you need AI or if it's going to help your business grow. If you don't have AI, your business won't even go.
Your business fail. That's right.
And that's the reality.
It's coming. It's coming. Yeah.
It's coming. And I hate to say that. And even for other industries that. We have just how advanced, like you've seen that dog robot is, they can take over even labor jobs. I mean, that's going to be the last one to probably come on the scene, but, eventually in the next probably 30 years, it's going to be here, maybe even sooner than that,
Yeah.
And in our lifetime, which is insane to think about.
And with the way things go down in costs, I mean, we've seen it from VCRs when they first came out, to DVD players, to flat screen TVs. As the price of product is reduced and it's more streamlined, these things are just going to get cheaper and cheaper because, like you said, it's the chip manufacturers like AMD and NVIDIA and others Intel that are actually trying to design AI into their processing chips.
100%.
And right now, NVIDIA, they're going after the Tesla market. There's nothing like being a disruptive, good influence on a market that you think is saturated already. That's why Apex AI is that disruptiveness. It's there to make sure that people can get into it instead of the Salesforce and others that charge thousands of dollars in seats and licenses. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it's insane. I mean, when is that robot that Elon Musk created coming out? I heard it's coming out within the next 3 years.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I would hate.
Speaking of Elon Musk, you guys, did you see he's expanding his Tennessee AI facility? He's gonna
Tennessee?
He's got an AI facility in Tennessee. He's expanding it, so maybe that's where he's gonna build these dogs. I don't know, but he's spending a lot of money right now on that. And not only that, Facebook Meta is spending $10 billion on a data center in Louisiana. So
Okay, can anybody?
A data center for $10 billion. That's
Totally
AI. That's not
understand
just a normal data center, right?
What is up with the Meta, like VR, just AI intelligence games, and then the glasses that are stylish to wear around that you can say, "Hey, Meta, who was invited to this party?" and it'll recognize the name so you don't forget
the
it.
Glasses. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember the commercial for those glasses. They came out, but they were kind of a flop, man. They weren't very popular.
You know? Coming out again. They're here again.
Well, they've got the VR still, right? And in fact, I think VR in the malls, you can go in the mall and play VR for an hour, and they charge like ridiculous amount of money. But
yeah, that just used to make me dizzy. Those VRs at the mall, man.
Yeah.
I almost
don't know if Facebook's one is still around or still popular. I get it.
And what's crazy is going back to the price of the equipment, whatever it is, the longer it's been out, the cheaper it's going to get over time. And the things we're going to see, it kind of scares me, but I'm so excited to see it. But yeah, right now, I want to get to the end portion. And here's the question. I am wearing a Star Wars shirt, and it's actually soft Wookiee, warm Wookiee. It's a play off of Sheldon Cooper's little song that he sings to himself when he's upset in Big Bang Theory. Don't know who grew up with sci-fi, and you can throw anything else you want in there, but Star Trek or Star Wars, AI, who did it better? And when I mean who did it better, was the use of it? Was it the, not in the film, but like in the characters or with whatever was shown? Did they predict anything that we haven't seen or have seen? And who do you think won?
I'll go first. I love Star Trek's version of one of the things that I consider to be one of their versions of AI is Data. You remember Data?
Yep. Data.
What was he? So the guy with and he's basically
an android.
An android, right? So he's a droid.
Synthetic android.
Yeah. All of the knowledge in the universe inside his brain,
But guess what he ran on?
Response, I don't know, like.
He ran on a specialized chip.
Yeah.
Processing chip that was AI. That was designed by.
Computer. Every response was like a computer responding, like.
Yeah, and it was milliseconds, complex things to milliseconds. All right.
He had no emotions, So I think they played it well. I think they predicted it pretty spot on. We don't have any bots like that still, so
yeah.
Still waiting to see something like that.
Who knows? We see the private sector doing all of these cool things, and it's out there for public consumption. But we all know that, there could be other parts of America, groups, agencies that have way more advanced practical application uses, and that's fine. The general market, what we're seeing is a good flow to handle because it's way too much anyways. But back to my question, and Adam, don't know if you grew up watching or did like Star Wars or Star
Yeah,
Trek.
I like Star Wars. I'm not too much of a Trekkie, but I definitely like Star Wars. So I grew up with
then
100%. So
you and I'll get along great. The movie Solo was horribly, the internet killed it before it even came out. It went through rewrites, whatever. But in there, he takes Lando Calrissian's android that does all the navigation for the star jumps and everything, and she's been hit. And Lando drags her back up on the ship, can't fix her, plugs her into the Falcon. The Falcon's brain and why it's so clunky and why it acts the way it does was a transference of an android AI consciousness into the Millennium Falcon system. I think that's super cool. That goes back to, hey, when do we get a transference of animal minds into robots? Things like that. Star Trek did do a great deal with it, but the later stuff they just came out with was incredible because it was dealing with just that, all of the artificial intelligence upgrades and things that could happen and growth. So
interesting.
Any other things that stand out about those two?
I don't know. Not. They have the transporter. That's not really AI, but it's freaking awesome technology. Beam me up.
Yeah, I like to get beamed up rather than sitting in traffic all day. That's for sure.
Oh, no doubt. And I tell you
that
what,
Bay Area traffic.
I think maybe we need AI to invent that because to take your body apart at the particle level and then reassemble it, we'll probably need a supercomputer for that, right? So
yeah, maybe that's what Elon Musk is doing, and that's what Facebook's trying to keep up with, or Meta out there. In those
Bill Gates is helping out. Bill Gates is helping out with his shot, and it's helping map the human DNA genome. And if we can unwrap the DNA, then maybe we can take our bodies apart at the atom level, reassemble ourselves with the proper DNA, and then we can transport through time and space. That'd be sweet.
I told you, folks, we like weird and we like odd, and we could go down any path.
I got a couple news updates for you guys.
All right.
Did you know not just Musk, right? Which his whole AI supercomputer that he's building is going to be in Memphis, okay? But you also got the DoD just released their first draft of a $15 billion AI contract. So some AI people are about. Let's find out, because I want to know if they're going to use this for war.
If they're listing that or not, because that contract and that company is going to be set, and wow, with military backing, some things you can do.
Oh yeah. So, advancing artificial intelligence, multiple award contract. So definitely probably over a span of different companies, but it seems to support a company called Advana, multi-domain analytics and AI platform run by the Pentagon's Chief Digital and AI Office. So they're overhauling that. They're probably getting a lot of contracts from developers to overhaul their in-house system, it looks like. Yeah. But, you've got the NSA talking about using AI. You've got
if they haven't already,
farming industry. Yeah, they probably have already, right? The farming industry, U.S. agricultural industry is testing AI, and they say there's a lot of potential. You got AWS, Amazon Web Services, and Anthropic, which they bought, I believe. They're building a 5x larger supercomputer right now. So there are being big moves made in AI to expand it dramatically for the future. The medical industry just overall says they're going to have a $7.2 billion AI